Hey everyone, Carla with Opening Chocolate here. Today I am going to talk about the first bean to bar maker out of Norway, and that is this company. And one of the things I want to talk about is how to pronounce the name, because you guys know that I'm terrible at pronunciation and I'm always trying to learn how to do it better, but it's tough for me. Okay, so this chocolate company is out of Norway. They are out of Eidfjord, so Western Norway, started by one woman, and then she brought in another woman, so women chocolate makers here. So let's talk about the name. As an English speaker, I would pronounce this Fjak. I would probably be wrong. This little symbol, which as a scientist I see as angstrom, but that's not how you pronounce it either. So this little symbol with the circle on top, the A with the circle on top, that means you pronounce that A more like the O's in pour or. So Fjork, but I feel like I'm adding an R in there. No, Fjok. I don't know. It's really hard for me, especially when I read a word first. Maybe you guys can sympathize with that. I apologize. I'm trying to do my best. Please correct me. Please tell me how to say it properly. So, again, first bean to bar maker in Norway. Their focus, or what makes them special, is that they use fantastic beans from all over the world, but they add local ingredients. So they add Nordic inclusions to them. So this company was started in, well, it was kind of 2015, officially 2017. So it was started by Agur, Arechanga. She is Spanish, and she had been doing photography for a long time. And she decided she wanted to change it up, wanted to do something different. So she just started researching things that she might do. One of them was a gin company. One of them was an ice cream company. And that wasn't quite her thing. But then she found out how chocolate was made. And that's when things changed. When she was visiting the UK to see her in-laws, she got her hands on a chocolate grinder and some cocoa beans and brought them back in her suitcase to Norway. She started experimenting in 2015, started in her kitchen, watched some online videos, just experimenting with the beans. And when she figured that this is what she wanted to do, she then convinced her friend Hereid. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too, I apologize. To join her in 2017, and then in 2017 they officially launched. So they started small in a garage, like a lot of makers do, in a garage or a kitchen. Then in 2019, they moved to a new space, a larger space, which actually used to be a kindergarten. And that helped them increase their production capacity. 2018, they won the Newcomer Award with the Academy of Chocolate. And what else do I want to tell you? Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of their Nordic ingredients that they include. So I have two of their bars. I have their 45% brunost, or brown milk bar, which I'll talk about a little bit. And I also have their 70% Reindeer Moss and lingonberry. I'm not even going to try to say that in Norwegian or in the Nordic language. That's beyond my brain cells. So I think I'm going to open this brown cheese one first, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Nordic ingredients. Agur likes to forage in Norway. She likes to get all kinds of plants, and their best-selling bars, I believe this one is their best-selling bar. Their best sellers all have local Nordic ingredients. So let me actually show you. So brown cheese, when you say that, most English speakers are going to kind of wiggle and feel uncomfortable with that connotation. I don't know what it is about that combination, but it just makes people wiggle. So brown cheese is actually something that we don't really have in North America. Very Nordic, Scandinavian countries have it. This is the brown cheese that I could get where I was. I had to really search for this sucker. So look at that English translation there. Creamy caramel cheese. Now that is something different than brown cheese, right? It's not, but it sounds different. Just words make it sound different. This is not the brand that they have in their bar. They use a local Norwegian maker. So this is what brown cheese is. I'm going to flip the camera around. We can open this up, take a look at it, and we'll try that other one too. Okay, so let's flip the camera around. All right, so here are the two bars that I have from this maker. I'm going to open this one today, the 45% milk and brown cheese. Now I showed you what the brown cheese looks like on the outside. Let me just quickly show you what the cheese looks like when you cut it. So here's the cheese, and it has, so the brown cheese is very common in Scandinavian countries, primarily produced in Norway though, and it's soft. It's a goat cheese. It's actually a whey cheese, so it goes way back in time. So they have evidence of it back to 650 BCE, but the modern version comes from the 1800s when there was some economic hardship in the area, and a woman named, so it's quite soft, almost as soft as a cream cheese. It came around this modern version when a woman named Anne Hove came up with adding cream to whey when it was boiling, and what this did was that as it reduced, it caramelized the sugars, the milk sugars, and gave it this beautiful color and the caramelized flavor. Now this doesn't have any, let me just see here where my ingredient list is. Okay, so whey, goat's milk, cream, and milk. So it doesn't have any sugar. It doesn't have any salt. It's very, when you taste it, you can it's got definitely a caramelized flavor to it, but it's not sweet. It's kind of caramel with that goat cheese funk, you know what I'm talking about. So they use this on things like sandwich toppings, on crisp breads, biscuits, in packed lunches. I know they make sauces out of it for it. There's a savory sauce, there's a sweet sauce, so waffles. You guys are tasters, you know food. You imagine what you could do with something like that. So that's a little bit about what brown cheese is. Not quite as scary when you call it creamy caramel cheese. So let's open up this bar and take a look at it. So let's see what we got at the front. So we got the 45% milk, brunost. This is the local maker of the cheese. They're using Pisa Haiti beans. That's where the cacao comes from. This is part of their Nordic collection. Handcrafted in Norway. Single batches. Let's take a look at their ingredients. Cocoa beans, cane sugar, cocoa butter, milk powder, goat brown cheese, and sea salt. All right, so let's open this up. Okay, so it says, oh, did I mention that they won the Newcomer Award? I think I did. Chocolate Love from Hardanger, so that's the area in Norway itself. Fjak. I still don't think I'm saying it right. It's hard. It's a hard pronunciation for me as an English speaker and someone who doesn't do sounds well. All right. It's a good looking bar. It's got the milk color look to it. looks fine. Some mold release marks, looks shiny, so tempering looks okay. Let's do a snap. I don't expect much of a snap because it's a milk bar. Still pretty solid snap there. It smells really good, you guys. The caramel is really coming through, the caramel smell. I can smell that right now. Smells like a chocolate covered caramel that you get on like a caramel apple. It smells so good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, because cocoa butter melts near human body temperature, I'm just gonna rub this with my thumb to warm it up and release some of the volatile compounds, and then we'll taste it and I'll get back to you. Such a nice bar. So when I smell it, I definitely get nice, really rich caramel smell in with the cocoa. So like I said, imagine you've gotten a caramel apple, caramel chocolate together. Really, really nice smell. And when I taste it, you know that there's that funk that you always have with goat cheese, that flavor, that smell. That's really muted in this case with the brown cheese. So I'm not sure if they put it in both in a melted form and possibly a dehydrated form, but there's chunks of something in here when I eat it. So it could be melted in, it could also be dehydrated bits in, I'm not sure. But when you taste it, really nice, just really nice flavor. You get the chocolate, you get the caramel, it's not too sweet, the salt just brings out all the other flavors. Really, really nice bar. I want to put 3 more pieces in my mouth right now. So this is a super nice bar, and I can understand why it would be one of their best selling bars, because it's not got that really strong dark, but it has a nice chocolate, nice 45% chocolate, milk chocolate flavor with the caramel. So it's really, really nice bar. Well done. Fjak Chocolate. Okay, let's flip the camera around, and I'm going to tell you about the 2 ingredients in this bar. I'm not going to taste that one today. That was so good. I just ate a piece with extra Brunost on top, and it was good. I'm going to have to try that with pair it with some other chocolates and see how it tastes. So I wanted to show you and talk about the 2 other ingredients in this bar. So the other ingredients in this bar are reindeer moss and lignaberry. Lignaberry is part of the heath family, the Arecaceae, which is native to a boreal forest. So that's usually northern elevations and altitudes. Includes cranberry, blueberry, huckleberry, among other things. The lignaberry is Vaccinium vitis idea. It's a small evergreen shrub, bright red berries. Depending on where you are, it's called different things. So I know in Newfoundland it's called partridge berry. In Nova Scotia it's called foxberry. Other places it's called mountain cranberry, bearberry, redberry, cougarberry. I'm missing one, cowberry. I think that's it. So, but you may have had this at a certain Swedish furniture store. They sell it as jam. So lignaberry, which they will serve you with their Swedish meatballs. So this is, if you don't live in an area that's boreal forest, you can find it at your local Swedish furniture store. So if you want to try it separately. So that is one of their Nordic ingredients, and the other one is the reindeer moss. And I'd venture to guess that you've probably seen this one around too. So here's kind of what it looks like in natural. So here is what reindeer moss looks like. And so you can get reindeer moss, like you can buy it online in your hobby stores all over the place. You can buy it different colors. I happen to have some green laying around as well. It is edible, obviously. Some people call it a health food now. I am going to say nothing about that. Reindeer moss is not actually a moss, though. It is, technically speaking, it is a lichen. And sometimes it's called deer moss, sometimes it's called reindeer lichen. A lichen is the combination, a symbiotic relationship, mutualistic relationship between an algae and a fungus. So the algae does the photosynthesizing and produces the food, whereas the fungus provides structure. It's what you're seeing here. It's the structure of it, and it also prevents the algae from drying out and getting sun damage. So they're helping each other out. The algae is feeding the fungus is keeping the algae safe, because it is native to Arctic tundra, and Arctic tundra is just as dry as a desert. The water is either trapped in the form of ice or it's just absent. The air is really dry. So it's a symbiotic relationship. It's an important food for reindeer and caribou. So they will eat this because there's not a lot of plants growing in the Arctic tundra. Cladonia rangiferina is the binomial nomenclature name of reindeer moss. So those are the other two Nordic ingredients in the Fjak Nordic collection in this bar here. And I think that is all I have to tell you about Fjak Chocolate. I've probably pronounced it 7 different ways in this video. Probably all of them wrong. I am sorry about that. I love your chocolate. I really like this caramel, the brown cheese bar. If you have a chance to try it, for sure try it. And their other Nordic collection bars are good as well. So if you have a comment, what do you think about brown cheese? What do you think about that translation? Have you tried these bars? Let me know. Which ones do you like? Which ones do you want to try? Which ones do you think is weird? Like this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you want to see me next week with a new chocolate maker. See you then.